What's up, OilyAppers? It's your girl Hannah here on this beautiful Wednesday, and I just poured a cup of coffee, and I am sitting down to talk to y'all because a lot has happened this year, and I take full responsibility for the inconsistency with this podcast, the OilyApp podcast, and I am so sorry for that. There's really no excuse at all because this is my job, and I should be better at being consistent, but I want to kind of give you a backstory and kind of why I've kind of been a little scatterbrained when it came to the podcast, because a lot's happened this year. So the owner, founder, CEO, whatever you want to call him, all the things, Ernie Yarbrough, he is in his first year as being a state house rep. So if you don't know what that is, he is an Alabama state house representative, and he has been gone Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday of every week for 3 months, going down to Montgomery, where our capital is. If you don't know that, by the way, Alabama, in the state of Alabama, Montgomery is our capital. A lot of people think it's Birmingham because it's a big city, but it's actually Montgomery. So anyway, Ernie's been going down there, and so it's just life's been a little different trying to navigate that. But also, I am a volunteer fireman. If you don't know, I am a volunteer fireman, and I am becoming a full-time firefighter. So I'm training really hard this year to become a full-time fireman next year. So I'm kind of in that transition right now from being just volunteer to being a volunteer and full-time fireman. So I'm currently in EMT school as well. So that's just kind of been a lot to navigate while also obviously having a job and all of that. So I'm a person that likes to take responsibility for when things don't go well because I feel bad. So I'm not excusing the fact that there's not been podcast. I'm just kind of explaining why that's been, because I am very frustrated with myself and all the things that it has not been as consistent as they should be, because, I'm better than this, and, it's inexcusable. So anyway, I want to sincerely apologize for there not being consistent podcasts, because I should have been doing a better job making them consistent. But anyway, regardless, nonetheless, I'm back. Hello, guys. It's Hannah. In case you missed the first part of the podcast, welcome in to a new episode of the OilyApp podcast. And, I'm going to start doing these twice a month. And I want you to just give me ideas we can talk about. Now, I want to start with this and say, I don't even know if any of y'all actually listen to this podcast or not. I like to think y'all do. And I know there are some of you, because I know that there are some of you who messaged me saying, hey, I just listened to the episode. I loved it, blah, blah, blah. But I struggle sometimes feeling like no one actually listens. So if you listen to the OilyApp podcast, this podcast, please message me on Instagram or on Facebook and say, hey, I love this episode. Please talk about X, Y, and Z. Because there are so many topics I can talk about, because I used to do this for a living. I used to be a sports broadcaster. I had my own sports radio show. I loved it. I sometimes miss that. But nonetheless, I love to talk, and I love to just pretend like we were having a cup of coffee, which I currently am, at a coffee shop or in your living room, and we're just talking, and we are just conversing with one another, encouraging one another, and helping each other be the best version of ourselves, the best absolute version of ourselves, one day, one drop, one supplement, one oil at a time. So all that to say, I hope y'all have had a fantastic 2023 thus far. It's seriously almost July. The year is halfway over, and I want to talk about how can you make this year the best year yet, even with half the year being gone. Because there are two types of people. There are people that are half full kind of people, and there are people that are half empty, right? When you look at a cup and it's halfway, do you say it's halfway empty or halfway filled, right? I tend to think it's halfway filled, because I believe that every day is an opportunity to make yourself better, to be better, to do better, to all the things better, okay? So I just want to encourage you today that just because it's almost July, just because we're over officially halfway through the year, does not mean that this year has to be how it is. It doesn't mean that you haven't hit your weight loss goal, so you're just going to stop. It doesn't mean that because you haven't started your new job yet, there's no point doing it this year. It doesn't mean that because you haven't started your garden yet, that you might as well not have a garden this year. No. You can still make this year successful. You can still make this year worthwhile. You can still do all the things that you dreamed of happening this year, because every day is a new day. Every day is a new day with no mistakes, no whatever. I believe that when you wake up, the Lord has given us a clean slate to be the best version of ourselves in every single way, spiritually, emotionally, mentally, physically, whatever it looks like in your life. Get up tomorrow. Start your garden. Get up tomorrow. Start your new business. Get up tomorrow. Contact 3 people to meet you to talk about essential oils. Start tomorrow taking Nixia greens. Start tomorrow waking up and walking a mile on the treadmill. Start tomorrow getting up and reading your Bible. Find something tomorrow to do to make you a better person that you were today. So what does it look like for Hannah Stevens? That's me, just FYI. What does it look like for me? What does it look like for me to pick one small thing tomorrow to do that I haven't been doing this year that will make me a better person? Oh, I know. It'll be getting up and making my bed, which I do every morning, but not wasting time. I waste too much time just laying in bed. It requires me to get up, get my coffee going, and start reading my devotionals. I need to be better with not wasting time each and every morning because I am a professional snoozer. If snoozing was an Olympic sport, I would hands down be a back-to-back gold medalist because I hit the snooze button. Like, I'm that person that if you opened up the alarm part of my phone, you would be swiping for days because I have alarms that I have set all the time. Let me just give you an example for this morning, okay? I went to EMT school this morning. I had 8 alarms between 6 o'clock and 6:25. Now, the first alarm that goes off just kind of tells me, okay, I need to get up, okay? So it's kind of like a pre alarm. It's kind of like the way of letting my brain know, okay, you're eventually going to have to wake up, so I'm just kind of waking you up now so you'll kind of still be asleep, but kind of still be awake, okay? So then 10 minutes later, I set another alarm that's kind of like, okay, like now we need to take it a little seriously. I need you to actually look at your phone and just kind of start waking up. So then I have alarms every 2 minutes after that to remind me, okay, come on, get your rear end out of bed. Like, come on, okay, make your coffee, because I just like to snooze. Like, I tell you what, I have had some of my best sleep in those 5 minutes between snooze buttons. And I know Mel Robbins and some people say you don't need to hit the snooze, which I agree because I probably shouldn't, but I also believe that my body, we got to know our bodies, and my body does not like to get out of bed running out the door unless there's a fire. Like, unless I'm responding to a fire call, I will jump out of bed at any time of night to help someone. But my rumpus tumpus likes to sleep as long as possible, and it takes me a little bit. I'm not a morning person. I'm just a permanently exhausted pigeon. I'm not a morning person. I'm not a night owl. I'm just always ready to sleep. So if that means for 2 minutes I can snooze, then I'll do it. But my point is tomorrow I can make myself a better person by not laying in bed scrolling on my phone for so long. Okay? Just a small step, just that one little small step can actually help make tomorrow a much better day because I'll be more productive in the morning. Okay? So I want you to think of one way, one thing, one small thing you can do tomorrow to help yourself be a better version than you were today. Okay? What does that look like? What does it look like for you to make a small choice? Does it mean you get up in the morning and you plow your garden? Maybe so. Does it mean you get up in the morning and run a half marathon? Maybe so. I don't know. Maybe it just means you actually read your Bible in the morning. Maybe it means you actually use your oils. Maybe it means, I honestly don't know. But I want to encourage you this week to find one way, just one, guys. I'm not telling you to get up tomorrow and learn Chinese or, whatever. I'm just telling you to do one small thing that could eventually be a snowball effect where you do more things and you've completely changed your life trajectory by the end of the year. Because let's just give me an example. Let's say I get up tomorrow and I don't lay in bed for 10 minutes. I get up and I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and make my coffee, go ahead and get up, and I can erase the 6 alarms. Let me take a sip of coffee. I tell you what, coffee, if I could pick my body to be made of something other than blood and oxygen and all the things that are in your body, coffee would be mine. Like, if they could just insert an IV of some liquid in my body, it would be coffee. But anyway, let's just say tomorrow I woke up and I decided not to lay in bed for 10 minutes and I didn't scroll on Facebook or whatever. And I got up, started getting my coffee going, and I was listening to the Bible or reading the Bible, whatever. And I started getting my day going. And let's say, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to start a new morning routine. I'm going to start getting up, and after I brush my teeth and fix my hair and get dressed and, make my bed and read my Bible, I'm going to take my morning supplements, right? So let's say I start doing that. Let's say next week, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to add to that. After taking my supplements, I'm going to clean the kitchen, okay? And then let's say I'm going to work my business, my Young Living business, for 30 minutes every day at 10 o'clock. Okay, all this to say, let's say if I kept adding to that every week, I added one thing to my list to make this year better. What if in a month I've enrolled 5 people, I am taking all my supplements, so I'm now a product of the product, and I notice my body feeling better. I have such a routine, all because I chose to start with one small thing. So that's the goal of this episode, is to encourage you to find one thing that you can do tomorrow to make yourself a better version of yourself than you were today. Because the version of me today laid in bed too long, almost overslept. It takes me an hour to get to where I go for my EMT class every Wednesday. And I almost overslept this morning because I snoozed a few many times. And by the grace of God, I woke up and was like, oh my word, I can't snooze again. And I look at my alarm and I was like, I have literally got to leave in 10 minutes. I should have been up 20 minutes sooner than that. But anyway, that's going to be my one thing. Tomorrow, I'm not going to snooze so long. And I will check in next week and ask y'all how y'all did. And I will be honest and say, okay, I've really stunk this week. Or you know what? I've killed it, guys. Y'all will know next week. So you got to tune in. But that's the goal this week. Find one thing, guys, one thing to do to make yourself a better version of yourself than you were yesterday. So that's all I've got for you today. And once again, please, if you've not yet, go follow us on Instagram. It's super simple. Just follow us at OilyApp, and also like our Facebook page, OilyApp, if you haven't done that either. We had some cool giveaways. So we did Shelly the Turtle. I've given one away on Instagram and Facebook. And I'll be giving away something really cool this Friday as well on our Instagram page. So be sure you look out for that. But once again, if you listen to these episodes, please reach out to me, okay? Let me know, hey, I love the episode, or hey, it really stunk, or whatever. And let me know what one thing you did. That'll actually be the question for the giveaway. If you listen to the podcast, what is one thing you're going to do to change the trajectory of this year? Because just because the year's halfway over doesn't mean it can't be your best year yet. That's what I'm all saying. That's all I'm saying. So anyway, y'all are awesome. I love each and every one of y'all. And just remember, tomorrow is a new day. A new slate, a new opportunity to be the best version of yourself yet. One day, one oil, one supplement, one product, one Young Living oil drop away. That's all you gotta do. One small step, one small drop of oil, one small supplement, one small choice could be the difference between who you thought you'd be this year and who you actually can be. So y'all are awesome. I love y'all, and I'll talk to you later. Bye, guys.